Hello and welcome to India Tonight. I'm Karan, Thapar. As detail after shocking detail emerges of the terror attack in Lahore on the Sri Lankan cricket team, serious questions are being asked about how this was allowed to happen. Could it have been done by the LET? And what does it tell us about the state of Pakistan? To answer these issues, I have from Lahore the editor-in-chief of the Daily Times, Najam Sethi. From Islamabad, one of Pakistan's top military analysts and the author of Military Inc., Ayesha Siddiqa. And here in Delhi, the strategic affairs editor of The Hindu, Siddharth Varadarajan. Najam Sethi, let's start with the question, who did it? The press claims that for 25 minutes, 12 terrorists fired at the Sri Lankan cricket team in broad daylight in the centre of Lahore and then simply melted away. Later, they were seen on CCTV sauntering through the bazaar, apparently unconcerned and clearly unafraid. Is this a complete lack of security, in fact a complete collapse of security, or does it suggest some level of complicity with the perpetrators?
First of all, it's not entirely clear that there were 12. We have seen pictures of 3 or 4, but 12 is a figure that has not yet been confirmed. Secondly, yes, of course, there was a security problem, and that is why we had what we had. Apparently, this is the third day, this was the third day of the match, which means that these people must have reconnoitered the route for at least 2 days earlier, which is to say that if the intelligence agencies had been on the lookout for people doing something like this, they would have found out. And finally, I think in terms of who did it, we have already written an editorial pointing the finger at the Lashkar-e-Jhangvi, which is a sectarian organization which has been linked with Al-Qaeda and the Taliban since 1996, and against whom there have been allegations of involvement not only in the assassination of Ms. Bhutto, but also in the Marriott attack. Mr. Rahman Malik, the Interior Minister, had already said as much, that the Lashkar-e-Jhangvi was involved in the Marriott attack. Now, the Lashkar-e-Jhangvi is a sectarian organization that hails from the south of Punjab. And it is an offshoot of another sectarian organization, also based in the south of Punjab. So the fact that many of these people have been located from, the arrests have been located from South Punjab, seems to confirm our findings.
Ayesha Siddiqa, the BBC has reported that advance warnings of a terrorist attack on the Sri Lankan cricket team, whilst they were being transported from their hotel to the Gaddafi Stadium, had been given to the Punjab police but were apparently ignored. Separately, Reuters has reported that security was in fact reduced when the team came from Karachi to Lahore, and the team wasn't given bulletproof buses, nor were forces deployed around the route. Is this simply negligence and incompetence, or is it, as I asked Najam Sethi a moment ago, hinting at some sort of complicity at some level?
Well, it's all conjecture, Karan, but there are two possibilities. We are definitely sure of negligence, and I think what should be said now is that one of the reasons that we had this case of negligence was because the central government, the PPP government in the centre in Punjab, was too busy battling Mr. Nawaz Sharif, and because of that it had made changes at the senior levels of the police, and therefore the attention of the police was definitely diverted away from what it should have done, securing the visiting team and its own cricket team. So negligence is definitely there. It's a proven case. As far as whether the police and the government or parts of the government was complicit, more needs to be known about the linkages. And if there is a case of a collusion, then I'm sure a lot of details might then not come out. But I would also like to tell you that theory which is very popular in Pakistan right now is that there were traces or links with India's RAW. In fact, the CID report that you're talking about that was conveyed to the police a few days ago before the match indicated that agents or people from the India's intelligence agency will be doing something against the Sri Lankan team.
Okay. Siddharth Varadarajan, let me in fact take up with you the CID report that you heard Ayesha Siddiqa refer to a moment ago, which alleged that there was a possibility of RAW carrying out a strike on the Sri Lankan cricket team. Now, this is something, as she says, that many Pakistanis perhaps believe in. And although Sherry Rahman has contradicted Sardar Nabil Gabol when he went public within hours saying that India was responsible, you and I know that there are people in India, whether they do this officially or privately, who have advocated a tit-for-tat policy. So let me ask you a controversial question. Is the theory of Indian involvement really ridiculous, as you said in your paper yesterday, or might there be some plausibility?
Well, the theory has gained currency precisely because of the irresponsible advocacy of retaliatory measures, tit-for-tat strikes, covert action by responsible, or should I say irresponsible people on the Indian side. Not anybody in officialdom, but certainly retired bureaucrats, retired security officials who have advocated this sort of thing. And I think this has created a fertile ground for all manner of conspiracy theorists in Pakistan to speculate. Now, turning to the specific, possibility of what happened in Lahore and whether RAW might be involved, I seriously doubt very much, and this is why I said it was ridiculous, the involvement of any Indian agency in the Lahore incident for two reasons. One, there is no proximate, purpose or reason for them to do so. Pakistan, after all, on February the 12th, essentially has accepted the broad contours of what India's claims on Bombay are. It has accepted for the first time ever that specific acts of terrorism on inside India were launched from Pakistani territory. And second, so when you have your case strengthened by a Pakistani admission and the entire world, you're not going to try to muddy the waters by doing this sort of thing. Secondly, to copy the modus operandi of the Bombay terrorists would be a very, very obvious and foolish thing to do. And to risk the capture of an asset of an agent, if you're deploying 12 people in a city like Lahore, what are the chances that all 12 will get away? I think this is a high risk sort of thing for them to have done, and I don't think for that reason that any such operation would have been authorized from the Indian side.
Najam, Sethi.